What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the EvolvedJeepin channel. My name is Dan, and this is Wrangler by Bernice Mountain Dog. And today, we're here to announce that we finally completed the Color This Jeep Final Wrap project. And on today's video, we're going to show you guys how the Harlequin turned out to look like based on all the votes you've been submitting. Before I get into that, I do want to thank everybody who participated in all the polls that we've been running, because without you, this project would not have been able to come together. So guys, right now I am looking at the Harlequin, and I have to say it is pretty amazing. It's turned out awesome. Surprisingly, wrapping those last 4 panels really made this Jeep come together. And it's just so cool. It is one of a kind. I can't wait to show it to you guys, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. What we're going to do in today's video is, obviously, I'm going to show you guys the Jeep. Then, because we did just finish wrapping the last 4 panels, I am going to show you guys what colors each of those panels were wrapped. I'll show you guys how the wrapping process went together, and, just a little snippet like I've been doing in all my videos. And then I'll announce whose name was selected for each panel. After we've done that, guys, what I'm going to do is actually recap this entire project and explain why I did this to my Jeep and what we were trying to achieve. The reason I want to do this is because I know this video is, or at least this Jeep, is going to start to attract people to find out why I did it and what was the purpose. So I really just want to explain that in this final video. And then, guys, once we finish that part, or finish going through that again, I do have one more question I have for all of you guys, because I need your opinion about one little issue I have on the Harlequin. So guys, at this point, we might as well go ahead and flip this camera around and show you guys what the Harlequin looks like.
Yeah, I'm nervous on the surface, I look fine. My brain feels heavy, my traumatized mind. And I'm so tired, I can't feel my eyes. Whoa, whoa. I'm petty, but I know how to lie. I feel feelings that I can't describe. I'm not breathing, but I'm still alive. Whoa, whoa. But I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. So I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. Why do I still have hope? So many days have passed. I wait around for things to change, but change has not come fast. I'm asking all the questions, but then I question them. Like, what's the point of living, existing when you can't see a God in flesh? I'm looking for the answers, they say to pray instead. I think I'll find them one day, but with a helping hand. I know that it's not easy, but I believe I will. Yeah, I'll get over all my fears and really conquer everything. I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got.
So guys, what do you think? I'd love to hear your comments, so make sure to post them below. Overall, guys, I'm happy about it. I think it's pretty cool. It makes me smile every time I look back at it. It is definitely one of a kind. There's nothing else out there like it. I guess officially I can now say that I now have the first ever Harlequin Volkswagen Golf inspired Jeep that exists. So that's pretty cool to say. Yeah, what's really impressive about this entire project is the fact that I didn't design it, and that you guys actually voted on what color each of the panels should be, and it still came together this awesomely. Well, awesomely, that's not a real word, but we're going to use it. It's just amazing. I personally love the passenger side a lot more than the driver's side, and that is actually the question I'm going to have at the end of this video. It has to do with one of the panels on this side. This side looks okay still, but it's just not as impressive as the passenger side. I feel like everything on the passenger side just kind of balanced out really, really nice. And it just came together. So guys, at this point, let's go ahead and take a look at the panels that we wrapped and show you guys what colors each of those panels ended up being. The first of the last 4 panels that we wrapped was the passenger roof side. As you can see, we have the Sky One Touch hardtop. So with the hardtop or this style top, we only have a long section on this side that needs to be wrapped. And as you can see, the winning color that was selected was blue. Wrapping this panel was, it was more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be fairly simple, just lay the vinyl and do it all. But as I started wrapping it, I discovered the complexity of this panel. So the first thing we had to deal with was these points at the front where, you're wrapping the vinyl going in the groove and coming up and over. So for here, I actually had to do an inlay right there, and I had to do an inlay at the back. Because this panel is so long, I actually had to do it in 2 sections. So there's actually a seam. The reason I did it this way is because honestly, I didn't want to have to go ahead and purchase an 8 by 5 foot section of material and only end up using a foot of it. It just seemed like a waste. So I decided I'd go ahead and purchase a 4 by 5 and simply just put that seam in it. Because this Jeep is paneled, I think it's not a big deal. If I were wrapping this vehicle in one solid color, then I definitely would be doing that entire section in one color. Overall, guys, wrapping this was pretty straightforward, at least the outside. What I didn't realize until I started cleaning it and getting it prepped for wrapping is that the underside of it is actually a separate part. And that meant we actually had to go ahead and wrap the inside piece right here. So that was a whole different thing we had to do. So we had to do it there. We had to do it on this one here. And we had to remove the side window and do under there. Overall, guys, a challenge like every panel in this Jeep has been. But once I did this side, I learned so that I could apply my techniques for the other side. So the last thing you guys need to know about this panel is who was selected to have their name on it. And that was, so Jim was the lucky person that had their name put on this panel as the person who chose blue for the passenger roof rash. The second panel that we wrapped was the driver's side front fender. And as you can see, the color you guys selected was green. I have to say, guys, wrapping these front fenders is definitely a challenge. And I think these fenders are probably the most challenging part of the Jeep. And I think that's just mainly due to its overall size and the amount of different angles and curves going on it. You have curves down, you have slight curves out, you have large curves deep in, and then you have curves out. It's just, there's so much going on. When wrapping this one, I actually think I learned so much when I wrapped the passenger one that I was able to apply a lot of my skills to this one to make it a lot easier. One of the big things I did with this one was instead of removing the fender and taking it up to my apartment, I actually just simply removed it from the vehicle and rested it on the tire. Because I did that, I feel like the tire acted as the support I needed and gave me the ability to properly heat and stretch the vinyl to match the shape of these fenders. As I said, guys, I think I learned so much from the passenger side one that when I was doing this one, I was able to do it a lot better. This one turned out really, really nice. And guys, the last thing I need to tell you guys about this panel is whose name was selected for it. And the person's name that was selected to be on this panel is Vanderdam Blue. The third panel that we wrapped is the rear tailgate. And as you can see, the color that was chosen is red. Overall, wrapping this panel was not complicated at all because it was simply just a flat surface with a few little grooves. You had the groove around here. You had a groove around where the spare tire mounts. But besides that, everything else, it was just very, very flat and actually a lot of fun to do this one. The hardest part about this one was actually removing all the spare tire components. So we had to remove the tire, the license plate bracket, the spare tire holder, and then also the hinge. Besides that, again, guys, this panel, very, very easy to do. We did have to remove the handle on this side as well. We couldn't remove the lock, so we actually had to work around that one. We did end up wrapping the red panel or red strip underneath as well. That was kind of just to tie it all together. Yeah, not much else to say about this one. This one was pretty straightforward. The person's name that was selected to be on this panel as the person who chose the red color is Harlequin Off-Road. So the last and final panel that was wrapped on this Jeep is the driver's side roof. As you can see, it also ended up being blue. So what that meant is we were actually able to use more sections from the 5x4 section that I got for blue. And I did do a seam again. So that was the exact same. You know, everything about this was the exact same. You know, ran your insets at the one end, ran your vinyl up and over the bends, and then ran your door jambs. Nothing too complicated. I actually, again, learned a lot from the last one on the other side and was able to apply it to this one. The person's name that was chosen for this one as the person who chose blue is E.Champ. So guys, as you can see, we wrapped every exterior panel on this Jeep. There is still a few white panels on the interior of the Jeep that we might want to address just to tie everything together. This includes the roll bars, the white trim piece there that you can see on the interior of the windshield, and of course the inside of the doors. What I'm thinking is I'm simply just going to go ahead and vinyl wrap those in black just to tie them all together. But that's something we're going to do at a later time because right now I've had enough of vinyl wrapping and I think I'm just going to leave it as is. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, what I want to do now is I actually want to recap why I did this project and what we were trying to achieve. The reason I wanted to address this and add this in this video is because I have a feeling that once I start to post a lot more photos of this, we're going to have a lot more people coming to this channel that haven't seen the other videos. And I feel like that because this is the final video where I'm showing it, I want to make sure that everyone understands what I was trying to do. If you're unfamiliar about what the Harlequin Volkswagen Golf is, basically it was a Golf that Volkswagen launched in 1996 that was actually a combination of 4 different colored cars. This was a limited edition release that actually had 4 different variations, I believe. So it was actually very special of a design and it was very different for its time. This colorway that Volkswagen did was actually something that has been replicated numerous times on newer Volkswagens, but it has never been done on a non-Volkswagen vehicle. So I figured, let's try it. And the reason I wanted to do this was because a couple of years ago, I came up with the idea that I wanted to eventually vinyl wrap my Jeep because I wanted to learn how to do it myself. Before getting into this project, I had done some vinyl wrapping, but it was always small pieces. For example, I'd done the dash, the vent rings, and then the grille, but I had never done a full vehicle. At that time, I was trying to figure out what color I wanted to do it, and I couldn't decide. I couldn't choose a color, and the issue was because every color I liked, Jeep had already done it. So it has already been out there, or somebody else had done it, so it wasn't really anything unique, and I didn't really want to just do something someone else has done. So I kind of given up on the project for a bit. And it wasn't until I was having a conversation with a friend and we were discussing that I wanted to vinyl wrap it, I wanted to change the look of it, and I was telling him all the struggles I had, and we came up with the idea that why not do every panel of this Jeep a different color? And of course, we were talking about the Volkswagen Golf. That's where we came up with the idea. And, you know, I was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. We've never seen it before. It doesn't exist. This is going to be something unique. Why not? But then while we were having that conversation, I also was like, okay, well, how can I include my viewers in it? And the idea we came up with was to actually allow the viewers to submit their votes on what color each of the panels should be. So that was the kind of little twist we did because Volkswagen designed their version, but for me, I didn't design it. And that is why the passenger side is actually a different color because every panel has been voted on by my viewers. I thought this was really a cool thing and I thought it was going to be really fun to do. But one of the challenges I actually ran into is on the first poll, I'd actually given my viewers 9 different colors to choose from. And that was too much. That was just way out there. It was just going to be too hard to manage the vinyl, too hard to piece it all together, and too hard to achieve the Harlequin design. So what I did is I actually limited the colors down to 5 colors because the Jeep's a little bigger than the Golf. So I wanted to have the variety and the ability to choose still. So I did 5 colors. The colors I chose were red, blue, green, yellow, and orange. So those were the 5 colors that we ended up choosing. I did have a purple at one point, but that got removed because it actually had a little bit of metallic in it. So I didn't want to do that. That was basically the idea. I wanted to learn to vinyl wrap. I wanted to make my Jeep unique. And I wanted to engage with my viewers and allow them to be a part of the project. While I was doing the polls, one of the things I did as well is that for every panel, whoever voted on the winning color, I would actually enter their name into a draw, and their name would be selected to be put on the Jeep. So what that means is every panel that is colored on this Jeep actually has someone's Instagram name on it. I thought this was really cool, and the way I've done it is I actually Easter egg them. So if you walk around the Jeep, you can actually find names on every panel and see who picked that color. Basically, guys, that's what I was doing. I wanted to create a first ever Jeep, and I wanted to engage my viewers, and I want to build my vinyl wrapping skills. Some of it is a marketing campaign, and I know some of you guys will say that, and yeah, that is. But I have a really cool Jeep now, and it's one of a kind.
Hope. So many days have passed. I wait around for things to change, but change has not come fast. I'm asking all the questions, but then I question them. Like, what's the point of living, existing when you can't see your God in flesh? I'm looking for the answers. They say to pray instead. I think I'll find them one day, but with a helping hand. I know that it's not easy, but I believe I will. Yeah, I'll get over all my fears and really conquer everything. I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up yet.
So guys, now that you've seen the final Harlequin, you know why I did this project, what I was trying to achieve. I now have one more thing I want to mention in this video before I wrap it up. And it has to do with one of the panels on this Jeep. As you can see, this is the passenger side, and it has 4 colors on it. You have your blue, your green, your yellow, and your red. But then when we head over to the driver's side, we have one panel that's a little bit different, and that is this rear panel right here. As you can see, we have a 5th color on this side, and it is the orange. This is the only orange panel on this Jeep. And for me, guys, it bothers me a lot. I would have loved another orange panel be put on the Jeep, but apparently you guys don't like orange, so it never got chosen for any of the other panels. What I'm thinking right now is I'm actually thinking about changing that panel and changing it to one of the other colors. And if we do that, it will mean that the Jeep will now only have 4 colors on it, which actually is more of a tie to the Harlequin Volkswagen Golf, which only had 4 colors on it. But I'm not sure about it, because you guys built it this way, so should I leave it? And this is what I want to ask you guys. I want to find out your guys' opinion on what I should do with this panel. Should I go ahead and keep it orange? Or should I change it to yellow? Yellow would work based on the colors that are going on in. The only thing is the yellow would be touching here, which is something I could live with. Or do we go ahead and change it to green? But if we change it to green, we actually have to go ahead and change this door to yellow. That's something I'm willing to do, but I'm not sure. Again, guys, I don't know what to do in this situation, and I want to hear what you guys think we should do. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm actually going to run a poll on this video where you'll actually be able to pick from one of the 3 options. Either it's keep it orange, change it to yellow, or change it to green and change the door to yellow. Yeah, I'm not really sure. If we end up changing that door to yellow, it would be very similar to this side, which we know does look good. I think the only difference would be the green and the blues have kind of flopped. I'm really, really torn. So guys, submit your votes to let me know what you think I should do with that panel. So guys, I guess we're done here. This project's wrapped up. Overall, this project was a lot of fun to do. It was fun to engage with you guys. There was actually a few times I was kind of stressed out about the fact that I wasn't designing how this was going to turn out. There was times where I actually talked to the girlfriend, was like, do I follow what they're voting on, or do I pick my own? And she was like, no, you have to stick to it. You have to follow exactly the colors they chose. And that's what I ended up doing. So I did follow that, even though I was kind of stressed out about it. Wrapping all of this panels was fun. I gained some skills, but it was also a big challenge. I know a lot of you have said before, well, wrapping a Jeep, that's pretty easy. It's, you know, very flat panels. It's the perfect vehicle to learn on. And to be honest, guys, yes, it has some nice flat panels, which make it nice and easy, but it's not as easy as you think. You know, exposed hinges, these bent fenders with a lot of curves on it. You have the grille, you have, again, more hinges. You have these panels up top. You have door jambs because I picked a white one. Again, more fenders. And then the hard top with these pieces in here, the back window, all of this made the Jeep not an easy vehicle to work on. And every time I went to wrap a panel, I was like, this is going to be easy. It turned out to be a lot more work than I anticipated. If I were to ever do a vehicle again, or suggest for any of you to pick a vehicle to learn how to vinyl wrap on, I would suggest you pick like a small sedan, a small black sedan, because a lot of those panels are just going to be smooth panels. And because it's black, you're not going to have to do in the door jambs. Yeah, Jeep, not so easy to wrap. One thing I would say about this is, after wrapping a Jeep and doing this entire project, I now understand why vinyl wrappers charge so much and why it costs that much to do vinyl wrapping. Yes, you're not painting it, but it's still a lot of work. There's a lot of time that goes into it. And I mean, for me, I'm one of those people who are fine-tuned details and needs to be perfect. So I took a lot of time, but there's mistakes I've made, and there's things that if I were to do it again, I would do it better. So guys, at this point, this is the Harlequin, the first ever Harlequin Volkswagen Golf inspired Jeep. For now, I'm going to leave it like this. Eventually, I'm sure I'll get tired of it and change it up. But for now, this is going to stay this way. So if you have any questions or comments about this video and my project, I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. I also love to hear what you guys think I should do with that orange panel. As I mentioned, vote in the poll or put some comments, whatever you want to do. Wrapping, also feel free to post them below, because I might be able to assist with those and provide you some answers. I'm not a professional, but I'm learning. I've done one full Jeep now. I've done a top half as a Jeep Compass, and I have recently just did the front and rear bumpers on a GMC Sahara. So learning, the more I do, the better I get, and the more I challenge myself. So if you have any questions, post them below. Maybe I'll have an answer that can help you with. And if you're in the New York area and need some assistance with some vinyl wrapping, feel free to hit me up. I'm open to doing it, because again, the more practice I get, the better I get. At this point, guys, it's time to wrap this video up. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving, and we'll see you guys on the next video.